Welcome to Guides Tales. I'm Captain Jamie Wilkinson, and this week we're off to Matagorda, Texas, with very special guest Captain Mark Nichols, the owner and founder of DOA Lures. Here we go.
Oh, look at those shrimps.
Oh
right
my
there.
God!
But all of it started with my shrimp, and it was just the fascination of trying to make a shrimp that would drop the way a shrimp would not normally drop in the water.
Captain Jamie Wilkinson and Mark Nichols, founder of DOA Baits, DOA Lures. Mark, we've gotten to fish a bunch of times together. You've come to the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Your staff's come to the Panhandle. We've fished together down the South Padre, and I'm really excited because we're back where maybe the idea for DOA
Some of the
started.
early days, absolutely.
We're back here in Matagorda with Mark. Mark grew up here as a kid, spent a lot of time.
Having flashbacks.
Having flashbacks.
Good flashbacks.
We actually rented a house on the street right over from where your house
Less
was.
than a half a mile from where my dad's place was.
Total coincidence.
We'd take off from Austin, blast down here and fish all weekend and just never leave the dock.
Yep.
You know, Dad would be bored. We'd be out there just like little kids eating it up.
So I'm excited to get out in the water today. We only have a little bit of time to fish, but then we're going to go into town and check out town and see how it hasn't changed. It's the same, but we have a lot of fun coming up. So
sounds good to me. Well, you know, once upon a time, we didn't have one of those electric things on the front of our boat. We just go. But what we're looking at is classic Texas pattern. We're looking at birds diving. If we're seeing them dive and pick on baits, a lot of times that means there's fish under them that are pushing those baits up. And so we're going to go over here and see if we can't find a trout or a little red or something real quick and see if it works the way it's supposed to in Texas. Very similar to Louisiana, same place. You can also work birds a lot there, but not so much our neighborhood. Kind of looking forward to this.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to do this rather than just cruising the bank and just going.
Everything's different. Yeah, you can do a bunch of different things here.
Beautiful bay though.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Man.
When's the last time you fished out here?
Matagorda Bay, only about 40 years ago. Actually, that's probably not true. I think I did outdoor rider here 25 years ago, 20 years ago. But early days, I fished out here a good bit.
So, you know, shrimp is kind of the theme of this show. Everything's about shrimp, and Mark and I were on schools of trout, and as Mark's about to boat a fish, we look down and we see a pile of shrimp jumping out of the water, and a whole school of redfish just rose right next to the boat. There we go.
Yeah, something pretty good there, sir.
Oh, came off.
Nice release.
But there was that roller right there to the side.
Yeah, the little finger mullet there. I was slightly jealous. Oh, I'm on.
There we go, Mark.
Oh, I'm off. That was just falling down to the bottom. That was a shrimp just jumped right there, and a fish chasing them. I'm making artificial shrimp I could try.
There we go.
Oh, look at those shrimp.
Oh my God.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, folks.
Mark, stop, just drop it.
Yeah.
Just drop it. Oh my God, that school came up on those shrimp.
Those two fish just came right up on that shrimp. That was classic. Good job, sir.
Thank you.
Dude,
That was awesome.
That was
Those
cool.
redfish coming up.
that was very cool.
That was one of the coolest things.
Yeah, it was, right here.
That was actually cooler than my trout. But anyway, that's not a bad fish.
Nuh-uh. Not at
Beautiful,
all. Nice, healthy fish.
healthy fish.
Real healthy.
So that's fun. There's nothing wrong with that.
Those are awesome.
And guess what we caught it on?
What did you get?
DOA
Glow.
Glow.
The glow gold, I told you.
Curly tail.
Oh, you hit the curly tail?
You know, the coolest thing about taking this trip for me was this is where Mark grew up as a kid fishing and grew up working on his dad's shrimp boat. And just to hear the stories about how those early days on that shrimp boat turned into a full-time career in soft plastic lure making, because everyone knows DOA is famous for their plastic shrimp.
Yeah, once upon a time, and my dad moved down to Galveston. I lived in Bolivar. He had a shrimp boat down there. I helped him pull a shrimp net. I ran crab traps. We literally had a 30-hook trot line that you could use in saltwater at that time. And so I was kind of a saltwater rat for quite a while, and really got enjoying. I enjoyed pulling a shrimp net and everything else, just being on the water, period. As I became a carpenter so I could make a living, and a gentleman taught me how to carve. And when he taught me how to carve, I started carving artificial lures. And my first one was a shrimp, because I had pulled that shrimp net and I saw the way that shrimp would do a nice simple glide down to the bottom, and I wanted to affect that glide. Then as time goes on, you say, okay, they're not eating the shrimp right now, we got a bunch of mullet in here. So I started working on a mullet. And I started working on a terrorize, because I wanted line entry on the top of the bait that would drive it down. But all of it started with my shrimp, and it was just the fascination of trying to make a shrimp that would drop the way a shrimp would not normally drop in the water.
So as we're approaching these fish, Mark, we got troll. These are these Texas fish with muddy water, with the wind? Are they more forgiving than Florida fish as far as what they'll tolerate?
You know, they certainly can be. You know, when you get in a good school, you should be able to do numbers.
Right.
And as we all know, you know, fish are such where they're going to be basically the same size in a school. If you start catching a bunch of 14-inch fish, most of them are going to be 14 inches.
Right.
If you want to have a chance of getting a bigger fish, drop it down below them where those predators that might eat that 14-inch fish are going to be hanging. But right now, we're simply wanting to try to get something to start to jerk on the line and pull back. Fish on.
Oh, that's a little better one there, buddy. Nice.
You just take your time, I don't mind.
Nope.
Bent rod, as long as that rod has a bend in it, you can catch a fish. When that rod goes straight, fish gets off. Decent feeling fish.
Yeah.
It feels like I might have picked up a little red here.
No, nice fish.
That's a nice red.
Want me to help him there? You want me to get him?
You got a gaff or anything?
We do.
I'll try to handle them without it. Hey, buddy, thank you.
Pretty fish,
Little plastic shrimp. Some people say these don't work, but some people are wrong, I guess. Hey, buddy, you, be pretty for me.
Beautiful.
We're gonna let you go. Cool.
Good work, good work.
Jig head action. Thank you, sir. Whoop, nip. Let's work together. Remember, slimy pants. Good job.
Hey.
I'm gonna let it go.
That's good. Congrats. So, Mark, one of the things, I use this gold curly tail, DOA.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but when I went to visit you in Stewart,
That's right.
I said, Mark, I hate curly tails. So the next day we went on the boat and he rigged a rod for me with a curly tail.
That's right.
And I fished that
and
bait
you caught him
all day long, and then all of a sudden I was...
Then all of a sudden, that's my favorite lure.
You gotta send me some curly tails.
Well, it's like we were talking earlier, you know, if I don't have a lot of fish that are going to bite the tail off, the curl tail's a phenomenal bait. It's very flashy. It's got a real fast sink because there's such a low profile to it.
And how much, so, you know, it brings up a really good point about baits and fishermen.
Right.
If I don't have confidence in this bait, I'll never catch a fish.
Exactly. Always.
Doesn't
Always.
matter.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like it goes through
you
the line.
won't try it hard. You won't
I won't try it hard.
You won't. I tell everybody, make that cast like it's your last cast
Right.
of the day.
But if
And
I
then you're gonna really
if I
milk
know
it.
this bait will catch a fish if it's there,
You're absolutely
I'm
right.
in the money.
There's no doubt about it. And that gets back to your question you asked about colors. If that guy's got his, you know, went out and caught it with a purple and green
Yeah.
stripe that day, it's the only color to throw.
and he's going to tell all his friends.
Exactly.
And then the local bait shop's going to be
I
out
know,
of
then they're like,
commission.
how come you don't have that color? In the days when writers would write a story in a newspaper,
Yeah.
you know, they'd have 6 of that color in every store, and they'd be gone within the first 15 minutes or when they open.
That's right.
And then they yell at you because they got empty SKUs, and they're like, well, you know. Where I'm sitting right here, when I lived in Austin, I used to come down here because my dad lived about a half mile down the street here. Come down here, Colorado River's here on my left, goes all the way up through Austin, chain of lakes up there, and it's just a beautiful old river. Been around a long time. Starts way up, actually, a freshwater spring way up north, and then it has lots of tributaries, and I fished Lake Travis, Lake Livingston, Lake Johnson, just all the way down the coast, you know, and caught fish at all of them, and honestly got stumped at a few of them too. But, it was funny, you know, it said that, you know, I had no idea that we were going to be coming so close to where I used to come when I was really young. And as we turned on the road, or is when I heard that, when I saw the map, and I was like, I saw the word Selkirk. I was like, my dad used to live on Selkirk. And honestly, it gave me a lot of really good memories of coming down here. And, you know, I came down here before. Here we got Texas weather. It was gorgeous this morning, dead calm. Now it's gonna rain and it's gonna blow. That's what Texas weather is all about. And we come down here sometimes and sit inside, but if you're in your 20s, you'll go fish in the rain. It don't bother you. These days, you know, I used to go catch a ton of snook. It'd be blowing, it's dark, it's nasty outside, it's howling, and you're saying to yourself, those snook are gonna be crushing it right now. And these days, I gotta get somebody that's in their 20s or 30s to motivate me to get me up to do it. I'll do it, but just to do it when you're 70 years old and you don't think, and you're by yourself, you're like, yeah, they go, fall asleep. Road dead ends right here. Actually, that might have been his house right there. Look at that Trump fence, that would have been him. One of those things where they were cussing about Biden or whatever. Pretty cool. The end of the road.
Matagorda Bay is a fantastic fishery. Beautiful seagrass, tons of fish. But Captain Mark Nichols has a word of advice for all Texas anglers.
Everything in the world's cumulative. And fishing these days, since COVID hit, all of a sudden I've seen boaters on the water that, honestly, some of them should be there, but there's more boaters on the water than you've ever seen in your life. These days you can go on YouTube and see how to catch anything and learn how to do it pretty effectively. Where, you know, when I was young, we might have had 100 boats out in Matagorda Bay. These days, there may be 1,000 boats in Matagorda Bay. It's the same number of fish, if not less fish. So protecting your resource is critical in this type of situation. We've got good friends down there in South Padre, you know, they'll go and they'll catch all their limit. They'll call them the drum wars when the black drums start running. They'll catch as many as they can. Gentlemen, you're gonna do that, and one of these days you're gonna go, man, I didn't catch so many today. And then the next year you're gonna go, boy, I didn't catch nearly as many as I did the year before. And when that slide starts going down, it goes down fast. You better protect it before it starts to slide down so you have a chance of making it better. And so many people, I've talked to so many young guides, they'll get back to the dock, and after they've told their captain they wanted to keep that limit, they get back and the guy's like, well, my family really doesn't like fish that much. And the other guy's going, well, there's so many fish here, Captain, you can have them. Captains can have all he wants. He don't need extra fish. And just be aware of it, you know. It's great to, you know, some people want to be macho. Oh, I got 10 fish on the wall. You don't need 10 fish on the wall. 10 fish in pictures, you can look at those all day long and enjoy them. If I were to talk to anybody that, you know, in my age when I started and, you know, say with my business, I started this business in my 30s. I know tons of young guides that are in their 30s these days. My advice to you is every fish that you catch is what makes you a living. If you release that fish, you can keep making that living for a long time. If that fish is dead, it's kind of hard to catch them again. So always be aware of that and be aware of what your people really need versus what they think they need. You are the captain if you're a captain on that boat, and you can make rules. And you can say, we're gonna catch enough fish for dinner tonight and then we're gonna have a great day. And if they say, well, I want to catch a mess of fish, send them somewhere else.
On our way home, we saw birds working again, so Mark and I decided to stop. The tide was coming in hard. It was every cast. It was small trout, but it showed how healthy the ecosystem was, and it was literally the perfect way to end the day with Mark. There we go. Oh, it came off. Oh, no, back.
Got him?
Yep.
Good.
Got him. Oh, Mark's a giant.
Little trout?
Giant, Mark.
Or a pinfish?
Giant. Little trout.
Son.
Little trout. It's okay.
I thought it was a little hardhead, so it's better than a hardhead.
Hey, happy, healthy fishery, right?
I'm on. Oh, I was on.
Ah.
There he is. Oh, we had a double.
Doubled almost.
We got a double.
Got a double.
See, he's throwing the jig head with a cal, a shad type bait. I'm throwing a jig head with the shrimp. Both of them are doing good. Both of them need to get down before you start working them, so the jig head lets us get it down much more effectively.
Look at this, Mark. Every fish same size.
Cookie cutters.
Pretty. And on artificials, best way to do it?
Cheap thrills right here.
Cheap thrill.
Easy. Easy to do. Oh.
Got him?
Yep. Little guy.
Little guy, all right.
Dead rod. See this? See the rod bent? I'm happy.
That's right.
Hey there, buddy. Come here, you.
Man, those birds are cranking over there.
Get bigger. Get bigger.
Now, it's not giant, but that one I just missed, that was a good fish. I let that hit the bottom. Hey, but it's fun.
Definitely. 3 fish in about 3 minutes.
Not bad, right?
You can't complain about that.
Nice little fish. Adios.
Yes, sir.
So, Mark, doubled up on trout.
Yep.
Sun's going down.
Yep. As the sun sets in the west.
Sunset's in the west.
Hardy hi-oh silver.
Time to have a little seafood.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
So
that's that part where I was saying I use plastic shrimp to catch fish and I eat the real ones.
So it's been it's been a really interesting trip. I mean, a homecoming for you.
Oh, pretty awesome.
Got to fish in an area of Texas and haven't fished before.
Yeah.
Always good learning about the history of.
You can see how many fish can be here.
It's a great place.
Just can see loaded.
So next stop, Florida. Maybe we'll be down in Stewart together at some point.
Yep.
Well, sorry. I thought that was it. There we go. Doubled up.
In the process of having the business, I've been through the best and the worst thing I have is being a boss. Having employees can be a nightmare. I have one of the best groups of people I've ever been around. I have established some of the best guides that I highly respect. You may never see them because they may be my age and we don't put a whole bunch of social media. We just want to go out and catch fish and have a good time. And to me, the whole enjoyment of being out here and everything is to go out, catch a fish, bend a rod, have a good time, remember everything, because it's things that happen when you're out there, when that fish jumps, that's what sticks in your mind. When that fish starts screaming drag, that's what sticks in your mind, not when he's laying there filleted on the table.